Welcome to the Fellowship. We, the Fellowship, we have some questions. And these are the sort of questions that you can ask people when you're out and about. As I mentioned in a previous video, just talking to people and coming out with facts and figures, most people just switch off because they don't want to hear it. But if you ask questions, then you start an open dialogue and you can sow seeds. I make it a point to engage with at least one individual, one complete stranger every day. And the reality is, if everyone who is awake and aware did that, spoke to at least one person every day for a month, then the whole population, the whole relevant population will be covered. And we can hopefully start some kind of groundswell of people starting to ask more and more questions, changing that Overton window. So these questions will be on our website under the resources page in the video title called We Have Questions. I'll run through them quickly and hopefully you can either write them down or say go to our website where they're going to all be printed or going to be typed out so you can print them out and keep them in your memory bank. So the questions that we have is, why did we de-industrialise? Why would a country like ours, that gave the world the Industrial Revolution, just give up on large-scale designing, engineering and manufacturing of products? How is it better for the environment to buy products that are made from halfway around the world and then ship them in or fly them in? Why do environmental issues just disappear when you pay more tax? Now, regarding the economy as a whole, it was only a few years ago that if economic growth fell below 2.5%, then the media would be all over it and talking about it. But they don't do that anymore. Why is that? Can you remember the last time a politician spoke about how they were going to improve our lives and our country and not just tell us what we've got to do? After all, don't they work for us? Why are all the natural medical remedies from knowledge that we have acquired over the last 3,500 years now simply ignored or called New Age or alternative? Why, if you are vaccinated against a virus, is it necessary for everyone else to have the vaccine in order for the vaccine in your body to work? So for instance, if you were going on holiday and your GP recommends that you have a yellow fever vaccine, does he or she then tell you that in order for your yellow fever vaccine to work in your body, everyone else around you must also be vaccinated? Why aren't children taught about growing their own food whilst they're at school? Regarding LGBTQ, what percentage of a person's life is their sex life? 1%, 2%, 5%? So I just focus on that one subject and not the rest of the individual's personality. What percentage of other countries' populations is non-indigenous? For example, how many non-Pakistanis live in Pakistan? If our country is so bad and racist, why do so many black and Asian people want to come here? Why did we get rid of Christianity in our schools and in the rest of society, only to then hold Islam in such high regard? Why are non-Muslim school children taken to mosques to learn all about Islam and pray, yet Muslim children don't go into churches and pray? If the so-called far right is the biggest threat in our country, why do we need concrete and metal barriers around Christmas markets, yet none around mosques? Why do so many overseas students who come to the UK for university educations end up staying? And then why do so many of them bring members of their family to join them? Why don't asylum seekers return to their home countries after the war that they were fleeing ends? Why do so many banks and financial institutions offer the service of sending money home for non-ethnically British people? I thought our country was their home. Why do we keep on increasing our national debt and taxes in order to give more and more money to people who live abroad, whilst our own country slowly crumbles away? Why is the border force called a force when all they do is act as a taxi service for illegal immigrants? Why are we feeding, clothing and housing immigrants when we can't or don't look after our own? Can anyone mention any skill, trade or job an immigrant can do which can't be done by an indigenous Brit? Who decided what British values were and why? If Pakistan can do mass deportations, currently over 1 million Afghanis, then why can't we? In an ever-increasing population, due to uncontrolled and controlled immigration, with more people coming into the UK in the last 30 years than the previous 1,000 years combined. Why are subsequent British governments paying our farmers with our money to stop producing food? So a higher population with less food. What will the consequences be? Why do we spend billions of pounds a year to defend Ukraine's border, yet leave ours wide open? Why do all the people who want to welcome illegal and mass legal immigrants never have any room at their homes to house any? And finally, why do convicted paedophiles from all races get such lenient sentences? Again, these are questions that you can ask people to instigate conversations. If you say you're serious about saving our country, saving its future for yourselves, your children, your grandchildren, then we all have to do our part. It's all well and good putting videos out there on YouTube and other social media platforms, but if we're only talking in our own echo chamber, nothing's going to change. We have to be brave, we have to go out, and we have to instigate conversations with individuals who may not want to have them. We have to start quickly sowing seeds. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.